I ruined a $300 white shirt with red wine, and 3 dry cleaners said it was toast. Then my grandmother whispered something that made the stain vanish in 60 seconds. Why didn't anyone ever tell me this before? You know that sinking feeling when you spill red wine on your favorite white shirt, or when you discover a mysterious grease spot on your go-to blazer right before an important meeting? Most people panic and either throw the item in the washing machine, making everything worse, or rush straight to the dry cleaner, wallet in hand. Here's what nobody tells you. Every stain has a personality. Seriously. Some are stubborn introverts that need gentle coaxing. Others are aggressive extroverts that spread everywhere if you look at them wrong. The key is figuring out what you're dealing with before you start your rescue mission. Stains basically fall into 3 main camps. First, you've got protein-based stains. Think blood, sweat, grass, and that chocolate ice cream that somehow ended up on your sleeve. These guys are tricky because heat makes them stick around permanently. Then there are oil-based stains from cooking grease, makeup, or that salad dressing that always seems to escape your fork. These love to spread and go deep into fabric fibers. Finally, water-based stains like coffee, juice, and wine might seem harmless, but they're masters of disguise, looking gone when wet, then reappearing once everything dries. Speed matters more than you think. Within the first few minutes after a spill, you're basically a superhero with cleanup powers. Wait a few hours, your chances of complete stain removal drop dramatically. Wait until tomorrow, and you're playing on hard mode. But here's where things get interesting. Different fabrics react like completely different people at a party. Cotton is the easygoing friend who forgives most mistakes. Polyester can be surprisingly stubborn despite looking tough. Silk throws a tantrum if you treat it roughly. And don't even get me started on leather and suede. These divas need special treatment or they'll never forgive you. The weird part is how many people assume dry cleaners have some magical powers the rest of us don't. Well, they do use industrial-strength solvents that would probably strip paint off your car, perchloroethylene, tetrachloroethylene, chemicals with names longer than most sentences. These work, sure, but they're not always necessary for every stain situation. Most dry cleaners won't tell you this, but sometimes they're just using gentler versions of things you probably have at home. They might hit your coffee stain with something surprisingly similar to dish soap, then charge you $12 for the privilege. Then there's the whole dry clean only label situation. Sometimes it really means your garment will dissolve if you look at it funny. Other times, the manufacturer just didn't want to deal with angry customers who ruined their clothes by washing them incorrectly, so they slapped on the most cautious label possible. The truth is, understanding your enemy, whether it's marinara sauce or motor oil, gives you way more power than most people realize. Once you know what makes different stains tick, you can start fighting back with the right weapons instead of just hoping for the best. What most dry cleaners don't want you discovering, though, are the surprisingly simple tricks that work just as well as their expensive treatments. Ever wonder why your dry cleaner charges $30 to remove a simple coffee stain? Well, they'd prefer you didn't ask too many questions about that. The truth is, dry cleaning shops operate with a business model that depends heavily on keeping their methods mysterious. They want you to believe their processes are so complex and specialized that attempting anything at home would be like performing brain surgery with a butter knife. But here's what they don't advertise on their storefront signs. Most dry cleaners use powerful solvents like perchloroethylene. Sounds scary, right? These chemicals can tackle stains that regular detergent can't touch. The thing is, many of these impossible stains can actually be handled with ingredients sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. Your cleaner knows this, but their profit margins depend on you not figuring it out. Then there's the whole dry clean only label situation. Those tags make people panic and rush straight to the pros. Makes sense, right? Nobody wants to ruin their favorite silk blouse or wool sweater. But what the industry won't tell you is that these labels are often more about liability than necessity. Manufacturers slap them on to avoid dealing with customer complaints about shrinkage or color bleeding, and the weird part is how they handle the impossible stains. You know, the ones they claim are permanently set? A stain that's been sitting for weeks isn't always the lost cause they make it seem. Professional cleaners have tricks that can resurrect clothes you've already written off. But they're not sharing those secrets because mystery equals money. Let's not forget the psychology game they're playing. Walk into any dry cleaner and notice how they examine your stained shirt with the seriousness of a detective at a crime scene. They'll shake their heads, make worried sounds, and give you that look that says, "This is going to be expensive." It's all part of the theater that justifies their prices. Statistics reveal something interesting about customer behavior in this industry. Roughly 80% of people never ask their dry cleaner about DIY alternatives or what they could try at home first. Most customers simply hand over their clothes and their credit cards without question. The shops count on this passive approach to keep business booming, but why would they volunteer information that could cut into their revenue when someone brings in a grass-stained shirt that could be saved with dish soap and cold water? There's no incentive to mention that simple solution. Instead, they'll use their commercial-grade equipment and charge you $15 for what amounts to a 5-minute process. The real kicker, many common household products can outperform expensive dry cleaning treatments on certain stains. Your cleaner has probably seen customers throw away perfectly salvageable clothes because they assumed professional treatment was the only option and couldn't afford it. This industry thrives on the gap between what you know and what actually works. Once you understand which household ingredients can tackle specific stains, you'll start seeing through their mysterious facade and discover the simple solutions they've been keeping under wraps. You know what's sitting in your kitchen right now? A cleaning arsenal that puts most dry cleaners to shame. The same ingredients your grandmother used to tackle impossible stains work better than half the overpriced bottles lining store shelves today. Baking soda isn't just for cookies and funky fridges. This white powder acts like a microscopic sponge, pulling oil and grease straight out of fabric fibers. Sprinkle it on fresh grease stains and watch it work its magic. The best part? It won't bleach or damage your clothes like harsh chemicals can. Even better, it costs about $3 for a box that'll last you months of stain fighting. Then there's white vinegar. Makes your kitchen smell like a pickle factory, but this stuff neutralizes stains that have been haunting your wardrobe for years. Coffee spills on silk, wine marks on cotton, fruit juice disasters on delicate fabrics. Vinegar breaks down the compounds that cause discoloration without stripping away fabric integrity. Mix equal parts water and vinegar, dab it on, and those stubborn marks start disappearing like they were never there. Let's not forget enzyme cleaners, nature's own stain destroyers. These biological powerhouses literally eat protein-based stains for breakfast. Blood, grass, sweat, food spills. Enzymes break down the molecular bonds that make these stains stick. The weird part is how fast they work. What takes dry cleaners multiple treatments often dissolves in minutes with the right enzyme formula. But here's where things get interesting. Regular dish soap outperforms expensive specialty cleaners on makeup and food stains. The gentle surfactants that cut through grease on your dishes work the same magic on fabric. Just make sure you're using the clear, gentle formulas, nothing with dyes or heavy fragrances that could leave their own marks behind. And then there's rubbing alcohol. This clear liquid removes ink stains that would normally send you running to the dry cleaner in panic. Ballpoint pen explosions, marker accidents, even some fabric dyes respond to alcohol treatment. The trick is blotting, never scrubbing. Scrubbing drives the stain deeper and spreads it wider. What makes these ingredients so powerful compared to store-bought stain removers? They target specific stain chemistry instead of trying to be one-size-fits-all solutions. Commercial products often contain fillers, fragrances, and additives that can actually interfere with cleaning action. These simple ingredients get straight to work without the extra baggage. Professional cleaners know these ingredients work, they just don't advertise it because selling you a $5 cleaning service beats recommending 50 cents worth of baking soda. Makes sense from a business perspective, right? Well, maybe not so much from your wallet's perspective. The shocking truth is that most households already own everything needed to tackle 90% of common stains. No special trips to expensive cleaning supply stores required. No waiting days for professional treatment, just simple chemistry working exactly how it's supposed to. Of course, having the right ingredients is only half the battle. Knowing exactly how to use them without ruining your favorite clothes, that's where the real magic happens. Here's the truth. Nobody wants to admit, most people attack stains like they're fighting a fire. They grab the nearest cleaning product, scrub frantically, and wonder why their favorite shirt now looks worse than before. Well, there's actually a method to this madness, and it starts with one simple rule that could save you hundreds of dollars. Always test your cleaning solution on a hidden spot first. Seriously, find the inside seam, a corner that nobody sees, or the area under a collar, dab a tiny bit of whatever you're planning to use, and wait 5 minutes. If the fabric changes color, gets rough, or starts looking weird, you just dodged a bullet. Better to waste 30 seconds than ruin the whole garment, right? Now here's where most people mess up completely. They rub the stain, don't rub ever. Rubbing pushes the stain deeper into the fabric fibers, making it 10 times harder to remove later. Instead, blot from the outside of the stain toward the center, use a clean cloth or paper towel, press down gently, then lift, repeat until no more stain transfers to your cloth. But wait, there's a game-changing combination that dry cleaners don't want you discovering. Mix baking soda with white vinegar to create a fizzing paste that tackles even set-in stains. The chemical reaction breaks down stain particles while the fizzing action lifts them from the fabric. Spread this paste over the stain, let it sit for 15 minutes, then blot it away with a damp cloth. The fizzing stops working after about 20 minutes, so don't leave it on all day thinking longer equals better. Then there's the temperature trap that catches everyone. Hot water feels more powerful, more aggressive against stains. Makes sense, right? Wrong. Hot water actually sets protein stains like blood, sweat, and food permanently into fabric. Cold water keeps these stains loose and removable. Save hot water for oil-based stains on sturdy fabrics only. Let's not forget the drying mistake that undoes all your hard work. Heat from dryers locks in any remaining stain particles, making them nearly impossible to remove later. Air dry everything after treating stains. Hold the item up to natural light and check carefully. If you can still see any trace of the stain, treat it again before it goes near heat. And the weird part is, timing matters more than the products you use. Fresh stains come out easily with basic household items. Day-old stains need more work, but respond well to enzyme cleaners. Week-old stains, you're fighting an uphill battle, but it's not hopeless if you follow these steps precisely. The order matters too. Blot first, test second, treat third, air dry fourth. Skip a step or switch the sequence, and your success rate drops dramatically. Professional cleaners follow this exact process. They just use stronger chemicals and charge you $20 for the privilege. This systematic approach works on everything from silk blouses to cotton jeans, but different fabrics have their own quirks and dangers that could surprise you. That dry clean only label glaring at you from your favorite shirt? Well, it's not always the final word. Many clothing manufacturers slap this label on items as a safety net, protecting themselves from angry customers who might throw delicate silk into a hot washing machine. The truth is, plenty of these fabrics can handle gentle home treatments when you know what you're doing. But here's where things get serious. Every hour you wait to treat a stain dramatically reduces your chances of success. After just 24 hours, your odds of complete removal drop by more than half. That coffee spill from yesterday morning, it's already settling in for a long-term relationship with your fabric fibers. The clock isn't the only thing working against you. Most dry cleaning shops use a chemical called perchloroethylene, or PERC for short. This stuff is incredibly effective at removing stains, but it's also classified as a probable carcinogen by health agencies. Even worse, traces of PERC can linger on your clothes after cleaning, meaning you're walking around in a chemical cloud. Makes sense why some people get headaches after picking up their dry cleaning, right? Then there's the uncomfortable reality that not every stain is beatable. That red wine disaster on your white wedding dress, sometimes it's game over, no matter what miracle solution you try. But knowing these home techniques still puts you miles ahead of the average person who panics and either gives up immediately or makes the stain worse by scrubbing frantically. Let's not forget the economics at play here. Dry cleaners have built their entire business model around the assumption that you'll panic when disaster strikes. They're counting on you believing that their mysterious processes are the only solution. And the weird part is, about 80% of customers never even ask if there's something they could try at home first. The prevention game is where smart people win. Treating stains immediately, we're talking within minutes, not hours, can save you dozens of trips to the cleaner and hundreds of dollars annually. Keep a stain emergency kit at home, white vinegar, baking soda, gentle dish soap, and rubbing alcohol. These 4 ingredients cost less than a single dry cleaning bill, but can handle most disasters you'll encounter. Care labels deserve respect, but they're not religious commandments. A hand wash only silk blouse might survive a careful spot treatment with diluted vinegar. A wool sweater marked dry clean only could bounce back from a small food stain with gentle dish soap and cold water. The key is testing first and moving slowly. Your biggest enemy isn't the stain itself, it's time and panic. Heat sets many stains permanently, which is why grabbing hot water seems helpful but often seals your fate. Cold water, patience, and the right technique beat expensive professional treatment more often than the industry wants you to know. The stain removal game isn't about having professional equipment, it's about understanding what you're fighting and acting fast with the right weapons. These simple tricks have saved countless garments from premature retirement.